Hello everybody, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my Lego Marvel minifigure collection, starting at the ones on this photo frame and then moving on to the extras which I've just got stored in another tub. So let's get started. So as you can see, first up here we've got Nick Fury. Now a few of these minifigures might be modified. As you can see, these legs have been added on separately, and also a few of them may be customs, as I don't have as well as most of my Marvel figures are customs, but I've got a few more official ones now. So yeah, first off, we've got Nick Fury, as we can see here. This is the comic book one from 2013, I believe. A very nice minifigure, like the eye patch printing, love the torso printing, and then I added these legs. Then we've got a Captain America. This is from the Advent calendar. He's not got his helmet, sadly, but I really do like this torso print. I would like to get the proper figure. Then we've got Endgame Iron Man, which I really love all the gold detailing on this. And this is the one with the new helmet, which has grown on me over time. Next up, we've got Thor from Endgame as well. And he actually has these legs, which I added on from a Superman villain. And I think they just had a nice little bit of extra detailing. A really cool minifigure. I love the hairpiece, face print, and torso as well. Here we've got the Age of Ultron Hulk, which is one of the two big figs in this collection. And this is a pretty cool guy. Obviously, he's not as cool as the new ones with the removable heads and removable hair. But I do like all the printing they've got on his pants there. As you can see, next up we've got Hawkeye and Black Widow, which are both customs, but I think they are pretty good customs. Black Widow's got this arm printing and uses a Superman villain torso and legs, whilst Hawkeye uses some scuba diver parts with some red arms, a quiver obviously, and this brown spiky hair. Overall, I think these two customs are pretty decent, and they definitely will be swapped out if I ever get official versions of them. Next up, we've got Doctor Strange and Wong. Doctor Strange is one of my favourite Marvel minifigures I've got. I just love this cape piece, and the torso and leg detailing is also really good as well. Wong isn't as detailed. I did swap out the legs or the hips just to add a little bit of red detailing, but yeah, the torso is really nice, a bit weird with no hair, and the face is also pretty decent. Next, we've got Wonder. This is from the Age of Ultron version. A very nice minifigure with the red eyes, the leg printing, which is quite nice, and then also this red jacket. I think it is really good, although all her suits are quite similar. This is just the only one I've got, and it does look pretty good. Next, we've got Captain America Falcon, which is one of my newest minifigures in the collection. And this is a really nice one. I love this helmet printing and the face printing underneath. As you can see, his face just poking out there. Dual molded legs, which are always a nice addition. And also this Captain America torso print, which is kind of still Falcon themed. It looks really good. And if we just move these two, you can see his wings, which look very nice there with the stickered detailing, which would have been nice if they were printed, but it doesn't really matter. Moving on, next we've got Okoye from the Black Panther films. This one was from the Advent calendar as well. I did add these black legs with the red detailing just to act as if they continues down onto her legs. I think it just adds a nice bit of extra detail. Then here we've got two Guardians of the Galaxy figures. There is more Guardians here, we'll get to them later, but I put these two up here because, well, this is the Avengers suit, because the way I've kind of done this is the top row is supposed to be the Avengers row. So I just thought these two, the Nebula one works because obviously she is in an Avengers Quantum Realm suit. And then also Star-Lord, just because it's in his Guardians 3 suit. And I feel like if he were to return as part of the Avengers, he'd use a suit like this suit or a very similar suit. And it's also a very nice minifigure that I want on display. So this bit here, we've got the Spider-Man section. So as you can see, we've got this comic Spider-Man here, which is one of my favourite Spider-Man figures. I know it's very common, but as someone who only has one of this figure, I think it is pretty nice. And I love the arm printing and dual molded legs on him. But I can see why people are starting to get annoyed with him now. Here we've got my Iron Spider custom, which is one of my favourite custom minifigures I've ever made. I used a Chima torso, dual molded legs, just a regular Spider-Man face, and obviously these arms. I think it all looks really good, and yeah, it's one of my favourite customs I've ever made. We've got the black and gold Spider-Man suit, which I love the detailing on this guy. Really cool figure. Next we've got Miles Morales, two variants. We've got his suit version, and he's got his casual, well not casual, but like sort of Spider-Verse version. I did modify the legs on this one. And here we've got Venom and Carnage. Venom is the really old one from 2012, I think. And then Carnage is actually a key ring, but I took out the top because I wanted him as a figure as opposed to a key ring. Then next up, we've got the Infinity Gauntlet, which I just put in the middle here because I think it's a very nice centerpiece to have a complete Infinity Gauntlet with my figures. Now we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. So starting off, we've got Star-Lord here with these the legs from Emmett from the Lego Movie too. And we've also put his helmet on there. Next, we've got Gamora in the jetpack suit from the Obelisk fight from the second film, alongside Drax, which is one of my favourites. I really love this arm printing he's got on, and the kind of the little Lego skulls all over him. One of my favourite Marvel figures. Now we've got Rocket, as you can see here, with holding Baby Groot, which I really like. Then obviously we've got Teenage Groot from the third film, or Young Adult Groot, or whatever you call him. Really a big fan of this one. I like the kind of shoulder arm, how they made him slightly more bulky without having to make a new mould. Then we've got Mantis and Nebula. Mantis is a pretty cool figure. I'm not a big fan of the face print, but everything else is pretty decent. Then Nebula, there's a bit of scratching on her mouth there, just because an old figure. And then, yeah, this is the one from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with the battle damage on the torso. Then moving on to the last row. The last row is sort of supposed to be, well, mainly it's the CMF, or the CMF minifigures I've got, and then plus a few villains here towards the end. So first off, we've got Korg and Meek. And I really like this Korg minifigure, and I think he deserves a spot on the wall, so I thought this was the best place to put him. Then we've got the CMF, so we've got Moon Knight, my favourite Marvel figure I own. I love all the detailing on him. I think it's a perfect figure. We've got Werewolf by Night, She-Hulk, Kate Bishop, Echo, and Goliath, and Beast. So yeah, they're all the CMF ones. My personal favourite is obviously Moon Knight. I'm a big fan of She-Hulk. And even though I've not watched the Echo show, I do quite like the Echo minifigure. They put a lot of detailing in there for a character that's not that particularly important. Yeah, and then obviously the Goliath's got the mini Ant-Man guy. And then Beast is next to my custom Deadpool with... this is the only like custom face I've done. I've drew that myself on him because I thought, well, I didn't have a face that really worked. He's got these Monkey Kid boots, which would be better without the white detailing, but I do think they still look pretty decent. The Stone Warrior torso and these red arms, alongside the two swords at the back. Then we've got Venomized Doc Ock, which is quite an interesting figure. It's just a bit of a weird concept, but yeah, I thought I'd put him on because he's a pretty cool figure. I do like the half and half look they've gone for. Here we've got Morbius, which was a figure that was quite popular around 2023, I believe. Obviously, with all the Morbius memes, he definitely deserved a spot on my wall, so here he is. Next up, we've got Red Hulk, which is one of my favourite ones I've got. He is one of the newest, so it might be recency bias, but I just think he is such a cool minifigure. Can't go wrong with a big fig like him. I just think he's really good. I love the removable head and hair, which just definitely makes him much cooler than the other Hulk. And I just think he's a lot more vibrant. And then finally, we've got two Avengers villains. We've got Ultron here, and we've got Thanos. If I did have a big fig Thanos, he would definitely be on here, but this is the only one I've got, sadly. And then we've also got Ultron here. Both two very key characters, and I do think they all look really good. So yeah, they're all the ones on the board, but we're not finished yet, as we've got a lot more miscellaneous figures to go through, which I'll probably be spending a little less time on, as most of them are going to be customs. So here we have this minifigure head, which contains the rest of my Marvel figures in here. I do also have these two here, which were too big to fit in. But yeah, so I'll quickly empty this out, and then I'll take you through the rest of the figures. So as you can see, it's quite full up. Yeah, there we have it. So these are all my other Marvel figures. So I'm just going to quickly kind of sort these out a little bit, and then should start showing them off. So I think the best way to do this is just kind of dig through and just start showing off the figures as they come up. So we'll just start here. So first of all, this is the armor from Meek. Obviously, the Meek minifigure, or the little actual purple bit, was in Korg's hand. So I've just got his mech here, in case they ever want to display him like that. We'll just go from the front and work our way back. Here's my Wolverine custom. As you can see, the hairpiece I'm not the happiest with. I don't really have a good Wolverine hairpiece, so I thought this is going to have to do. He's got the sleeveless look, this bright yellow torso with the belt, bit of dark blue detailing, and Zod, I think his name's Zod from Superman's face. The alternate one doesn't really work, but yeah, not really much with this figure. Not my favourite customs, but I would really like to get an official Wolverine at some point. Here we've got the Mighty Micro Spider-Man. Really weird minifigure, nothing much to show off about him. Here we've got my Fantastic Four customs. Obviously now there is an official Fantastic Four set out. But yeah, so these were my 3 customs originally. I never had the right parts to really make an Invisible Woman, but you can just say she's invisible. Now, actually, to be fair, the Thing custom's not the greatest. I actually would swap his face round. So it is the Nadakan face and torso from Ninjago. I actually would now, to be fair, swap it for this face from the D&D series. So yeah, that's probably a better look at my Fantastic Four customs. We've got the Human Torch. He's got scorch marks on his torso and legs from where it's burnt. Mr. Fantastic, obviously, nothing much to show, but obviously it's just a blue torso. And then we've got the thing with the orange torso and blue legs. But yeah, they're my Fantastic Four customs. Next up, we've got Groot. This was just the teenage Groot. Obviously, I've got the other two on my board, and I didn't want 3 Groots, so yep. We've got my custom Sandman, which I really like. I did order this part off Bricks and Pieces. That's how I've got it. But yeah, also with the tan arm, just a generic angry face and just some generic hair is a pretty good custom in my opinion. Here we've got the new Falcon from Captain America, and also, I can't remember her name, but these are the new ones. Now, they didn't make my frame because I just didn't think they weren't as important. I've not watched the film yet. I probably will get around to it at some point. But I just think Red Hulk and Captain America are much crucial characters than these two, and they also look a lot more. They also look a lot cooler. But yeah, these are two still really nice minifigures. Here we've got the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. A very cool minifigure. Pretty basic detailing, but yeah, still pretty cool. We've got these 2 snowmen from the advent calendars. We've got a Thanos snowman and just this. I don't know if it's supposed to be Iron Man themed one, because obviously he's got the arc reactor there. Guns in his hands, but he's wearing a top hat. So we've just got 2 Marvel themed snowmen here. Here we've got my Bucky Barnes custom, which is one of my favourites. I love the dual molded legs I used. Metal arm, good torso, good face print, like the hairpiece. Not much to really say about this one, except for I'm really happy with how he turned out. Here we've got a custom Spider-Man, Spaceman Spider-Man. He wasn't really based off everything, but as you can see here, I do really like collecting the Lego Spacemen, so I just thought just to include a Spider-Man one in a similar style, which I'm pretty like pretty much. Here's the old Spider-Man minifigure. He got replaced by the new comic one, as I prefer the detailing on him. Yeah, I think most Lego fans have this Spider-Man figure. He was very common for a long time. Here we've got my custom James Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man. He uses this is kind of based off of his Spider-Man No Way Home one. He's got a suit, kind of a screaming face, and this bold cap here, which I think looks pretty good. Here we've got my Matt Murdock custom from, well, obviously Daredevil, but he's not in his Daredevil suit, so I don't really have the right parts, and I just think this looks pretty good. Obviously, I know they're not glasses, but I think they work decently. Okay, I'll show off the Christmas ones as they're all kind of here. These are all the ones from Advent calendars. We've got, obviously, these 2 from the Guardians of the Galaxy, these 2 from the Avengers one. Pretty cool figures. The Guardians of the Galaxy ones definitely are my favourites. I think their torsos are much cooler. I should like the Thanos with the Infinity Stones and Dancing Groot in it. But these 2 are still pretty cool. I do like this Avengers logo on the back. But yeah, just obviously these are only really minifigures that only really work around Christmas time. The rest of the time they just stay in the box. Here's a 2012 Captain America minifigure. He used to be on the boards, but I swapped him for the new Falcon Captain America. Here we've got Valkyrie with these legs that I swapped out from a Shadow Trooper from Star Wars. And I think this minifigure looks really cool, especially with that leg detailing I added. We've got my custom War Machine, who does use a lot of parts from General Zod from DC, but I think they kind of work as War Machine parts anyway. So yeah, we've got my custom Loki from obviously the TV show Loki, in a suit and brown trousers. I think it looks pretty decent. I'd like to have dual molded arms, but sadly I don't own any of those parts. Here we've got the Scorpion, which was the one from the Mighty Micros, but I did modify him slightly with parts from Scuba Lloyd to make him look a little bit more like a threat as opposed to the small little Mighty Micros variants. Here we've got Mysterio with his official legs, because I found them in Build a Minifigure once. But yeah, other than that, it's just a custom. I do actually really like this dome piece, just with a white head underneath, because obviously otherwise you'd see. But yeah, pretty cool custom in my opinion. Yeah, so I do think most of them are going to be customs now. I'll try and get the last few official ones out the way. We've got my Iron Man minifigures, if that's the way to say it. So we've got 2 from Age of Ultron, 1 from, and then I think, yeah, I've got two Mark 17s from Iron Man 3 from that small Mandarin set. One's printing is worn off quite a bit more than the others, as you can see here. So this is the one I use most of the time, obviously. And yeah, this one's definitely probably one of my second favourite Iron Man suit I own. I do really like the face printing and the torso detail. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, they're the 4 Iron Man minifigures I've got. Here we've got Star-Lord from the similar suit to what Gamora was in, but I didn't put him on the board because just the red suit one is a lot more iconic. Okay, yeah. Still with the few official ones we've got left, we've got my Ultron drones and the Chitauri. Yeah, obviously these came in loads of sets. The Chitauri's still coming in sets now. But yeah, Ultron drones are from the 2015 wave, I believe. Just pretty cool minifigures, and just obviously they're all identical, but they are all really cool to build up an army. Then finally we have obviously the Chitauri. The last official one we've got is the Vulture from Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, the No Way Home sets, but obviously he's from Far From Home. Really cool wing build. And also, I swapped out the legs because I think these ones look pretty good. And also the face print's all really nice. Everything's pretty good about this minifigure. But yeah, the wing build just means it's too big to fit into the tub. Okay, finally we've got some customs. So, some customs I'm more proud of than others. This is a custom Spider-Ham, kind of inspired by the Minecraft pig. Well, nothing really too serious about this custom, obviously. It's not very accurate, but it's not supposed to be. I think, okay. So here we've got my custom Red Hulk, which obviously used to be on my board until I got the big fig. Yeah, the big fig is much cooler than this, but this guy did until I got him. We've got a comic book Vulture, so you can display him with hair or without. Obviously, you do see the other side of the face if you've not got any hair on him. But yeah, pretty cool minifigure. Normally he would have wings to hold, but I'm not too sure where they've gone. We've got my custom Hela. Now this used a lot of Monkey Kid parts. Well, I think most of it was from Monkey Kid parts, actually. Yeah, I'm not too sure about it. It doesn't look very accurate. It was just mainly this headpiece which I saw, which obviously looks quite similar to the one that she had in the film. And I just thought it would sort of work like that. Here we've got the Spot from Spider-Verse. I'm very happy with this custom, using a chef torso, arm from the Penguin, the chef's arm, and then just black and white legs alongside the black face and the white helmet. This is actually one of my favourite customs. Here we've got Ghost Rider, which I'm quite happy with. Just a leather jacket, a skull with a bit of flame on top. I don't have any of the better pieces, so I just use the cheese slope. Here we've got my Kingpin custom, which I actually really like. He just uses his suit and a bow tie. But yeah, nothing much to say about him. Here we've got the Green Goblin custom, which once again I really like. I used this Joker coattail piece. I wrapped it around with a jacket and stuff. It's got a mask and a helmet. Pretty decent custom in my opinion. We've got the Rhino, which is another pretty cool one. Just using a Shadow Trooper's torso with that morph from Zod from DC, and then this horn on his head to kind of act as the Rhino. We got my Ant-Man custom. Ignore the face. I just needed something that was grey around the back. Another pretty decent torso. This minifigure, or these minifigures from that DC, really came in handy with quite a lot of my Marvel customs. But yeah, here's the Ant-Man, and I'm also pretty happy with him. Then finally, we've got my Doc Ock custom, which is one of my favourites because I just love the arm build I used. So we've got these two top arms, which are kind of turned out into a point where he can kind of use to grab stuff, and then the other ones are kind of got as hands, so he can kind of stand up, support his own weight to well, if I can try and get into balance, he can, as you can see there, support his own weight in the air alongside using these other two arms for fighting. And then the torso and legs are just pretty generic for a custom. So yeah, they're all my Marvel customs, or Marvel figures, as I can say, shown off in one video. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.